Welcome to this special show where we are speaking with the management of IHH Healthcare, one of the largest private healthcare groups globally. The Malaysian-based company operates over 80 hospitals across 10 countries, spanning the entire healthcare spectrum from hospitals to diagnostics. In India, IHH's largest presence is through its acquisition of a 31% stake in Fortis Healthcare, completed in November 2018 for around 4,000 crores. Besides Fortis's 28 healthcare facilities, IHH also operates Gleneagles hospitals in Chennai, Mumbai, Bangalore and Hyderabad. Additionally, they have a pan-India footprint in diagnostics through Fortis's diagnostic arm, Agilis Diagnostics. We have with us Dr. Prem Nair joining in from IHH to discuss their operations in India and to take us through their plans. Dr. Nair, welcome to the show. Let's begin with Fortis. You hold 31% stake in Fortis. You acquired the company, IHH acquired the company in November 2018. Since then, the parameters of Fortis have improved dramatically. For example, the stock price is up around 2.5 times. Revenue has risen, margins have improved. A part of it is also because of the healthcare boom in India. But if you could just give us a sense in terms of IHH's contribution to the Fortis improvement.
Yes, so we came in 2018, we acquired a stake in Fortis, and as you have rightly said, all the operational metrics, the financial metrics have improved tremendously. And I think a large part of the credit must go to the team that we put into Fortis, Dr. Ashutosh and his team. They have done very well. And, you know, other than just operational and financial metrics, you have to look at the clinical quality in Fortis, how that has improved, patient experience. These are all the important things in healthcare today, right? So I think we control Fortis, right? We have got our directors. I'm the vice chairman of Fortis. We provide a lot of support to Fortis in their growth. But Fortis is really today running on its own engine. If you look at all the acquisitions that they have made, Agilis is coming up. It's all through their own internal accruals, right? They've got debt headroom. So I would say Fortis today, and their EBITDA is, you know, the 20s now. So they've improved a lot, right? And it's a great partnership, IHH and Fortis.
Okay, but obviously the big elephant in the room has been the open offer, which has been pending since December of 2018. The Supreme Court did clear it, and there were some pending litigations which were cleared in, I think, 2022. But there is a particular litigation with regards to a forensic audit, which is pending in the Delhi High Court.
Yeah.
Give us an update on where the open offer stands.
Okay, so I think this matter has wound its way through the courts, Supreme Court, right? And now it's with the Delhi High Court. I would say a lot of the issues have been resolved, right? And this is probably the last final matter, the forensic by Delhi High Court, which is ongoing now, all right? I won't comment on it, right? Because it is going through the courts at the moment. And we anticipate that once it is resolved, we let the court process, you know, go through its, you know, usual route. We will, and then we'll have to decide what to do next. The open offer was at $170. Fortis today is at 600 plus, right? So we will have to make a decision on how we move forward. There are many ways in which we can increase our stake, as you know, right? But one thing's for sure, we will be staying in India and we will be staying with Fortis.
So there's no chance of selling out that 31% stake?
Absolutely not, right? We have got Fortis, we've got Gleneagles, we've got twin engines of growth in India. And given the attractiveness of the Indian private healthcare market, we intend to stay and grow in India.
But what do you think about this long journey of litigations, which is still not over at this point in time? Was there a time where IHH rethought its decision of acquiring Fortis?
Well, you know, to be very honest, I think there were times when we were wondering what we got into, right? But over the years, most of the matters have progressed and resolved, you know, one by one. There were several matters going on at the same time, right? So most of them have been resolved, right? And I think we feel, right? I don't want to judge what's going to happen, but we feel that we are at the tail end of this matter, all right? And we really will have a chance to go ahead, right? Both with Fortis and with Gleneagles, right? And increase our presence in India.
So when do you expect to hear back on the open offer?
No, can't predict that for the moment.
Probably by the end of this year
Hopefully
or next year?
6 months to a year, hopefully.
Okay. Well, this is a hypothetical situation, but if in case the open offer does get approved,
Yes.
like you mentioned, the price was 170 rupees. Today,
Yeah.
it's over 550 or 600 odd rupees for Fortis in terms of a price. What will IHH do? Will there be a revision of an open offer price on the higher side? What is the decision?
Okay, given that we would like to increase our stake, I think we would have to revise, right, our offer to the other shareholders. So that's probably what it will take for us to do it.
Okay, so you will probably revise the price higher
Yeah.
for the open offer if in case you do get that permission to go through. On the other hand, if in case the open offer does face hurdles again, what will IHH do? Will it go through any other route in order to increase its stake? Because currently you do have minority stake.
Yes. Well, first of all, I must say we are happy with what we have at the moment. As I said, we control Fortis, right? Fortis is improving year by year, operational metrics, financial metrics. There's no restriction to their growth. As you can see, they bought a hospital in Manesar. They disposed of 2 hospitals in the south, right? And they're looking at more acquisitions. They've got a plan to expand by 2,000 beds from their current 5,000 beds purely by brownfield expansion.
Correct.
Right, so that's their same store growth essentially, right? So Fortis can continue to grow, all right, and we hope there will come a day when we have years down the road when we have between the two entities about 10,000 beds, all right? That will bring us maybe into the top 3, right, hospital groups in the country. That's our aspiration, right? So I think Fortis can, even with the stake we have now and the current growth trajectory of Fortis, it'll continue to grow, right? But of course, we would like to increase our stake, either increase the open offer, we can do a creep, all right?
Creeping acquisition, 5%
We
every
can do
year.
that 5% every year. We can do that. Down the road, maybe we can look at folding Gleneagles into Fortis. That's another option. Not envisaged at the moment because both of them are growing very nicely,
Okay.
right? And we can talk a little bit about Gleneagles as well because that's another growth story.
Okay, so a buyback, creeping acquisition, all of these are probably on the cards if in case the open offer does not go through as planned.
Yeah.
Okay, and possible merger of Gleneagles as well as Fortis could be something that you could consider later.
Yeah.
Okay, how is Gleneagles doing? Because we have the numbers for Fortis, Gleneagles is not listed.
Well, yeah. So Gleneagles is not listed, but Gleneagles is our international brand. So that's the first thing I must say. It's a very well-known brand. Started 65 years ago in Singapore. We have Gleneagles in Hong Kong. We have Gleneagles in Malaysia. We have Gleneagles in East Malaysia. Even in Brunei, it's a joint venture with the Brunei government. So Gleneagles is a well-known brand. So we decided when we had to, after we bought the promoter's stake last year, exactly 1 year ago, we renamed it from Global to Gleneagles.
Okay.
Right? So firstly, it's a very well-known brand. Secondly, if you look at the operating and financial metrics of Gleneagles, right? They were, when we went in, EBITDA was, in the single digits. Today it's in the mid-teens, all right? It's improving. We have revamped all the hospitals. If you now walk into the lobby of Gleneagles Hospital, you see the consistent Gleneagles look, right?
Correct.
We have brought in a lot of equipment, CAPEX, right? MRI, CT scans, PET CTs, all these are equipment that you'll find in a Gleneagles Hospital today. And they do some really cutting edge work. Gleneagles does one of the highest transplants in the country.
Okay.
And not just liver transplant. In Mumbai here, they do limb transplants,
Okay.
people who have got severe limbs. So very, very high quality work is going on in Gleneagles Hospital as well.
So just on, the branding part of it, because we do understand that there's a litigation with regards to the Fortis brand as well. You had that problem with the diagnostics arm and then you rebranded it to Agilis. But your Fortis brand, what is the current pending litigation? And is there a plan to rebrand the Fortis hospital chain in India?
We would like to keep the Fortis name, right? It's a well-known name, right? But you're right, there is also litigation involving the Fortis. There was also SRL, and that's why we rebranded it to Agilis.
Yes.
So that's also winding its way through the courts, all right? And we will see the outcome, all right? the Fortis name may be up for sale, all right? And if possible, we will acquire it.
And by when would we hear on this particular litigation?
I think that's also within the next 1 year.
Okay. And what about the forensic audit? What kind of audit is going on when it comes to this forensic audit case?
That's with the Delhi High Court at the moment. So just leave it there.
Okay, all right. Well, we spoke about the entire rebranding exercise, and that's what took place with Agilus, your diagnostic arm, and now we have Fortis, which is buying the remaining stake of around, I think, 31% of private equity. What do you feel about that, considering that the private equities did not get any kind of exit since 2012?
Okay, so my personal view on the diagnostic business is that it is integral to a healthcare delivery organization, to large healthcare organizations. And so in all our countries, Singapore, Malaysia, and Turkey, our 3 big countries, the labs are the biggest, all right? And they support the hospitals. They have considerable outreach as well. And likewise in India, we need to have a big lab for our 2 entities, all right? So Agilus is what it is, and we like to keep it. And hence, when the IPO did not materialize, we encourage Fortis to take it, right? Agilus, okay. And that's what's happening now. Agilus is probably the second or the third biggest lab in the country, by my reckoning. And we again certainly would like to build it up. And the lab business today is just not consumer business, which is very big in India, not necessarily so in other countries. It's very big in supporting hospitals, right, for the high-end work they do. But there's an element of the laboratory business that is very exciting. And this is what I call the high-tech lab business. Molecular genetics, genomics, precision medicine, and all of these are required to support oncology primarily.
Correct.
And oncology, as you know, if you look at the specialty mix of private hospitals in India, right, used to be heavily weighted towards cardiology and neurology, neurosurgery. Today it's shifting to oncology. And oncology requires accurate diagnosis, all right, before treatment can commence. And that's where molecular genetics, precision medicine comes in. So we would like to bring up our laboratories to that level. And for that reason, we have also created IHH laboratories,
okay,
all right, which is at the group level, all right, and will support the in-country laboratories, all right, to move up the technology ladder.
Okay. You did mention that the IPO for Agilus has been put on the back burner. Any plans to revive it?
No, it's off for the moment. Yeah.
It's off forever or for the moment?
Yeah. Well, I would say I don't see an IPO happening.
Why is that?
Well, because Agilus would now become a fully owned subsidiary of Fortis.
So you would you look to monetize the diagnostic business?
Not really. I think our plan is to have a fully integrated healthcare organization, right? Like in all the other countries. Our laboratories are very well integrated into the business. And I think we would like to do the same.
All of them are wholly owned subsidiaries world over. So yes, you want that similar plan to be executed in India as well.
Yeah, and we want IHH labs to have oversight to develop, to help them all grow.
Okay.
We want to set up reference labs in India, in Malaysia, in Turkey, all right, to do some of these things.
But the entire business itself has been underperforming as compared to, say, the other peers in the business.
Yeah.
You know, revenue was up only around 2%. Margins are lower than what the peer set is. What is the plan to improve it?
So, Agilus, if you look at their business compared to the other labs, they were very heavily into consumer laboratory business, right? They, to a certain extent, I would say they maybe even overextended, right, into the consumer business. So we have now got a business plan. This year is a year of consolidation, and you will find that Agilus, the operating metrics are already improving. We are seeing it now, all right? And then we want to reposition them to support our large hospitals, all our hospitals. We got Fortis, we got Gleneagles, and to go for more of the hospital business.
All right, lots of more questions with regards to IHH and their plans in India. We'll take a short break and be back with more.